So it is time for us to resume this session. This will be the final session of the day. The title is the message across generation, reflecting on the past 10 years, embracing the next 10 years. We would like to begin the panel discussion. The moderator is Mizuka Shimada, a co-founder and CEO of Ayako Limited. My name is Shimada. Very nice to meet you. This is the final session. This FCW Forum is celebrating its 10th anniversary, so I would like to extend my sincere congratulations to all of you. So first, let me share my impression of this forum. I was so impressed with this forum, and as I watch people talk, I really felt the importance of continuing this for 10 years. Your passion and your action are very impressive. So you've continued this wonderful efforts for 10 years. I have a deep respect for your efforts, and it's very wonderful. So today's theme is a message across generations, reflecting on the past 10 years, embracing the next 10 years. So we would like to ask each panelist to talk about your 10 years. Maybe you need to look back your past 10 years. And also you need to think about the next 10 years. What are your dreams? And how are you going to connect generations? So I would like to sort of listen to everyone's ideas and opinions. I hope it would have been very nice we had enough time to listen to everyone's background, why you are doing this and what you are doing in your organization. However, in the interest time, we need to listen to your presentations and understand you through your presentations. But first, I would like to introduce the panelists very briefly. Then that will be followed by everyone's presentations. So from my right, I would like to introduce first the Ms. Endo Sachiko, Deputy Director, Economic and Social Policy Office, Economic Industry Policy Bureau of the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, the METI. So Ms. Endo, very nice to meet you. You know, I can assure you that you will get promoted. And now from Idemitsu, the Ms. Nami Kitamura Nami, Executive Officer, General Manager of Bitumen Department, Advanced Materials Company, Idemitsu Kosan. Now, from ADNOC, we are joined by Ms. Budra Al-Ushei, Vice President, Reserve Management Division. Pleased to meet you. Next is the participants from Oman. Senior Chemist, Technical Services Laboratory of OQ, Ms. Maha Abraiki. Welcome. And next, from ENEOS, we are joined by Ms. Funo Atsuko, Senior Vice President. And last but least, Dr. Kondo Junko, Office of Communications and DEI, Professor for Management Institute of Science, Tokyo. Thank you, everyone, your participation. Without further ado, first, we would like to understand the perspective of the government. So looking at the past and next 10 years, we would like to explore the theme of today, the women and women's empowerment and women's leadership. And what are the initiatives taken by the government? What are the changes experienced as a country? So first presenter is Ms. Endo. So my name is Endo from Economic and Social Policy Office and Economic Industry Policy Bureau of the METI. So today the theme is the women's empowerment. The Cabinet Office and the entire government is working on this. At the Cabinet Office, there is our section to promote gender equality, and they have a robust policy outline for women's empowerment. But in addition to that, well, there is a national government policy outline, but we also have a women's version of that policy to promote women's empowerment. So today I would like to focus on our ministry, the METI, to share with you our initiatives. At the METI, we would like to leverage the diverse talents, including women, and maximize their potential. Are the things that we would like to achieve. So we would like to promote diversity management within the company to create innovation and create values. As a part of our activities, since 2015, we've started targeting the candidates for female leaders under the name of a female leader training program. And the name of the training is Women's Leaders Training, or WIL. 300 people have participated in this program, and those who completed this program, 70 of them have been appointed as executive officers or more senior positions. Next page, please. Also, there are other initiatives taken by the Ministry of Economy, Trade and Industry, which is called Nadeshiko brand. Since 2012, the METI and the Tokyo Stock Exchange have jointly been selecting this Nadeshiko brand. So the Nadeshiko brand is an initiative that aims to introduce certain companies that are outstanding in terms of encouraging women's empowerment in the workplace. And we would introduce such companies as attractive stocks to investors, so that the investors would pay attention to those listed companies who promote women's empowerment. Through our initiative, our hope is to attract investors' attention to those companies who support women. These Nadeshiko brands, the stocks, are selected through a survey. So we would send a survey to companies and receive response. And those companies who respond to such survey show that they are making steady progress in increasing the ratio of women in the management positions or decision-making positions. Another initiative I would like to introduce to you, which is taken by the METI, is that in the 2024 survey by the ministry, the economic loss due to lost labor originating from health issues specific to women in Japan is estimated at 3.4 trillion yen annually for the society overall. So those health issues specific to women may result in women leaving the workplace. So we need to prevent such a situation so as to promote the workplace where women can shine. So we are promoting the utilization of femtech. We resolve health issues to provide better work and the local governments and companies who are trying to make such improvements are supported by our initiatives. And we have selected 70 cases over the 4 years to subsidize their activities. So at the local level, such activities are being undertaken. Now, finally, the most recent activity is our diversity report. As the diversity amongst the company increases, we also see the fluidity of human talent. Therefore, the company need to open their doors to diverse talents and promote them. So governments are making efforts towards that, but the companies also need to find ways to utilize diverse talents in terms of improving their corporate performance, because they see some challenges there. So we target presidents or CEOs and top management to educate them about the diversity management that would lead to the enhancement of the corporate value. And we included such content in our diversity report, which was published in April last month. So diversity is closely related to female empowerment, women's empowerment, and METI really feels the renewed its resolve to strongly promote such activities as I was listening to your presentation. Thank you very much, Ms. Endo.
Can I ask you one more question? Towards the end, you introduced women promotion to increase enterprise value. In that point, what are the most points that you evaluate most? Maybe the value is worthwhile putting into the report. If you look at the past experiences, these are the things that are directly linked to enterprise values. Are you able to identify or define those points? Well, one thing I'm able to say is that the women's promotion, maybe how many people are female in the management, and that can be an index that we could use. But numbers alone may not lead to innovation creation or enterprise value enhancement. Rather, perhaps inclusiveness or efforts to include women or diverse employees. These efforts will increase the loyalty of the employment or engagement of the employee. And I think that is a source of enterprise value enhancement according to the data we have. And so as far as national government is concerned, we may be saying that you set the numerical target, but rather than that, how you can be more inclusive as an organization to have your employee reach potential. That's something we would like the companies to put focus on. That will be a key message from the central government, I would think. Thank you very much. That is quite important, I think. I was relieved by saying that the national government is aware of that. That is quite valuable because we tend to rely on numbers. And numbers are important, but there are something that beyond numbers, because we need to know the necessary conditions are ready for actual numbers to be improved. So that's something we need to pay attention to. Now, that was a viewpoint from the national government. And next presenter onward will be from the private sector companies, both from Japan and also the Middle East countries. And then maybe we can have academic presentation at the very end of the panel discussion. So maybe we can listen to each other and maybe can identify something that can be used for your organization, although you haven't done that before. So I think we would like to learn each other. Well, this is a panel discussion. It's not just one answer, one question, one answer, but we need to share information among ourselves. Otherwise, this is not going to be a panel discussion. So moving on to the next presenter.
The next presenter is Ms. Kitamura from Idemitsu Kosan, please. So my name is Kitamura. I'm the general manager of Bitumen Department, Advanced Materials Company of Idemitsu Kosan. So very pleased to meet you. So earlier you said that this has been going on for 10 years. This forum has been going on for 10 years. It is certainly a great achievement. This time we need to talk about past 10 years and next 10 years. And it's been more than 30 years that I joined this industry. And we've long been talking about women's empowerment, but this is a very nice opportunity to have a concrete talks over this topic. And now, we've been saying that we have to promote this, but I'd like to give you some concrete examples of what we do to sort of include the manufacturing department. And there are some numbers presented on this slide. As we implement activities, it is quite important to have some numerical indicators. So at our company, as a diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives we focus on women as well. So our targets for 2030 include a female recruiting ratio, including mid-higher, to currently it's 47%, but in 2030 we would like to target 50% or more. With regard to the female ratio in management level positions, the second KPI, starting from the kacho in Japanese position, like the department manager, currently it stands at 3.6% back in 2023. However, 2030, we would like to hit 10%. So those are the 2030 targets we have for those two KPIs. In the past, it was even very difficult to set numerical targets, but it's very nice to have a concrete numerical targets now. So exactly what we do. So first, we created an organization, as you can see on the left-hand side. D&I, a promotion committee, was created in 2021. And this is the advisory body for president, chaired by the vice president. We also include the outside female director for serving as advisor. So we listen to the external parties' opinion as well, and we try to discuss concrete matters. And as a part of activities, we try to promote women's empowerment in manufacturing department. Those who know the situation in plants, you know that there are very few female workers in the plants. And when it comes to the management level, there are hardly none. So even if you have women's empowerment targets, when it comes to plants, it's very difficult to do anything. However, even if there are small minority, there are women who raise their voices. And it is not only about the one plant. So the plants can be in Hokkaido or Chiba or Aichi and different places. But those women in plants in the different locations will start networking. So we created an organization to promote women's empowerment. And as we try to promote women's empowerment, we have reached out to the manufacturing department. So our achievement is quite small today. For example, creating a uniform suitable for women at the plant, or maybe we should have a smaller helmets that would fit smaller heads of women. So it's a very small changes, but I think important thing is that we can start counting the concrete changes. So once we start making changes, we can make the work environment better for women. And that would lead to the actual women's empowerment, we believe. So if you go to the next page. So this is a cross-mentoring program. So I talked about the plants where there are a few women, but this is about developing female managers. So there is a mentoring program for managers in Idemitsu, but providing a mentoring within the same organization is rather tricky because you know who your supervisors are, even if you want to serve as a mentor. But now we are involving the different companies, so mentoring become more meticulous, and the mentors also need to explain fully about yourself. And I served as a mentor in this cross-mentoring program, and I focus on listening to my mentees. And so cross-mentoring program is something I initially wasn't very sure about, but actually as I participated, I learned it was a great learning. And I think it was a good for a mentee as well as for a mentor. And the cross-boundary program, that a mentoring program we heard earlier is wonderful. So basically mentoring is very effective if you involve external parties. And such activities were very well recognized by the government and external parties, and we are now selected as a Nishi brand. But we have to continue our efforts in the plant as well. So cross-mentoring program is in its third year. So just like FCW Forum, we would like to continue that at least 10 years or more by continuing our efforts. Keeping the Nadeshiko brand status is very difficult, but hopefully through our efforts we will continue to remain as a Nadeshiko brand. So that was the efforts by Idemitsu. Thank you very much. So I just wanted to change the order. So Ms. Funo, I would like to ask you to speak next, and then followed by Ms. Bodo and Ms. Maha, so that we can understand the perspectives of the Middle East. Please.
So maybe I can put my slides on to start my presentation. So we go by country. So well, am I causing trouble by changing the speaker's order? Okay, while waiting, maybe may I ask you a question to Kitamura-san? Well, this question, I would like to ask this question to all the representatives from private companies, but you said that the numbers or numerical targets. Of course, numerical targets are important because we can see changes by following numbers, and numbers can be our targets or objectives. And of course, proportion of women in management, numbers are quite low. That the number that you introduced. So on that particular point, the management, of course you are a member of the management, but male management members, what is their opinion about the ratio of women in management, and what sort of plans they have for changing the situation around? Kitamura-san, if you know any information, if you could share that with us. Well, the population is still very small. As far as the industry is concerned, perhaps hiring size of the women was quite small so far. So maybe that is because of the population very small, number of management with women is small, but we may be lagging behind, but we need to hire more women. That's one thing. And because there are a few women in the company, we didn't really have role model. We tend to look to male management, the activities and the behaviors. And we tried to do exactly the same, but there are some concerns about female management who may not be able to do the same. So mentor is needed, who are female mentors in this case. And also, if you look around, there are very few mentors, female mentors, who can serve a role model for our people. And that is also understood by our male counterpart. So we need to have a thicker pipeline, and that is our common understanding. And that is a sheer difference from 30 years ago. So you have to hire more women and also promote more women. I would like to come back to that. Manufacturing sector. I feel that your activities are great, even though you are in the manufacturing sector. Now, Funo-san, if you could start, please. Thank you. Funo is my name. I'm from ENEOS. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak in front of you. I have been in this business maybe a few years later than Kitamura-san joined. I joined this industry. And role model and mentors, those are probably a very important role for women, more women to be in the management. Now, I am very much involved with my former boss was involved in the activities of FCW, and also Kitamura-san is different from our company, but within the same industry, she is actually giving some stimulation. So I was very fortunate in that sense. So let's talk about what we do at ENEOS. Move on to the next page, please. Can you move the slide? Yes, these are the 4 items that I want to speak to you. Especially, I would like to focus on progress. Now, to begin with, at ENEOS, D&I is positioned in this way. I would like to explain using this slide. ENEOS think that people are the source of our competitiveness. The human capital management is what ENEOS is focusing on as a result. If you look at the chart at the bottom, this gives you the structure of our management and also approach to human resource management. And on the right-hand side, you see some red part, D&I. Here, the promotion of D&I is considered to be the very basis of our human capital management and also business management. Each individual, men and women, if they are happy at their workplace, that would also be profitable for the company, like Kameda-san mentioned in her presentation earlier on. So that is what the management is focusing on. And when it comes to female, hiring is one of the issues that we are focusing on to place more D&I. And this is detailed list of activities relating to D&I. Like Kitamura-san said, we are in the manufacturing industry, so engineers and people on the shop floor, those are the people we would like to get promoted, regardless of their gender. But I would like to talk about the trend or progress of the past 10 years rather than going into detail. More than 30 years ago, women leader was a topic, but we rarely see women leaders. In other words, a trend towards now was not the steady and easy one. But one of the learnings that we have learned as we did some errors and mistakes, we need to have good soil for the flower to flourish. In other words, if the workplace is good for everyone, or if the organization understands the value of D&I to accommodate more diversity, probably that would be the one that we need to shoot for. In other words, we wanted to make a workplace where people can work flexibly, not just women. And child rearing or parenting shouldn't be left all up only women. So those are the values that we would like to make as a common sense for our organization. So if you look at 2018, we decided to allow work from home system, even though they may not be doing parenting. The flex time system. We did have flex system before 2018, but we actually removed core work hours. But only a part of our employee population was utilizing these systems, so penetration was quite low. But in 2020, COVID-19 hit Japan, so working flexibly became common sense and natural. And therefore, these two systems are utilized more by our employees. So working flexibly and work from home, these became a norm. One more activity is in 2020, we wanted to increase fathers to involve themselves into parenting and to take more parenting leave. And if you look at the bar chart and to look at the scale on the left-hand side, you see in 2017, only 30% of the newly became father took parenting leave, but now it's 90%. So parenting leave was meant only for the women in the past, but now it became for both gender. Now, what happened to women leaders? As well as the absolute number, we are not satisfied yet. But if you look at the curve, starting from 2020, you see some upward trend. The orange line indicates the ratio of female managers who have subordinates. In 2017, only 1.3%. Well, you have to look at the scale on the right-hand side for the line graphs. So 1.3% in 2017, it's close to 6%. Now, female directors and executives. Well, something that is epoch-making happened in 2022. There was female management committee member was born in 2022. Those people can make decision, and now about 5% is the ratio of female executives now. But anyway, we have a female member who are sitting at the management committee board. So we started hypothesis of good place to work for everyone is good. But in order to promote diversity as well as women work at the workplace, we need to make sure environment has to be good for everyone. And that kind of a hypothesis was proven. And so in order to increase leaders, women leaders, we need to make sure workplace is good for everyone to work. And also we need to do promotion of D&I. So those are the things we need to focus on going forward. Now, last page shows our future key issues. Maybe this is too detailed, so if I have an opportunity, I would like to come back to this page later on. So that's all from me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If I may ask you a question, you did some trial and errors, and after that you see the flower blooming, and you need to have a good soil for the flowers to bloom. I think this is more like philosophical. But when you notice that, in 2018, I think when you noticed that was, if that was 2018, I think you were one of the early company to notice that. And in 2020, you allow activities over promotion of men taking part in parenting leave. I think you were earlier than other companies. I guess you had a very solid leadership to make such decisions, and decisions were implemented quite steadily. Is that how it happened? But what did it happen? What happened actually? Well, in 2018, I guess so-called remote work became a theme or a topic. But even before that, diversity has been regarded as an important theme. And also there was a requirement for the society for us to move for work from home system. But we needed to have some trigger for people to change. And therefore, we took that as an opportunity to change in order to make our workplace to be good for everyone. So we captured that opportunity to offer more flexible workplace back in 2018. And in 2020, well, we tend to focus on female worker need this and that, but there are needs specific to male workers. And I think there was a backdrop to increase in proportion of 30% to 90% participation of parenting leave. I think men want to be a parent at the very early stage of babies. So there was a hidden need for parenting leave, not just for women, but for men as well. So as a company, as an enterprise, we offered such an opportunity as one of the solutions to hidden needs of men. And if women work shorter during the parenting period, they feel sorry for their co-workers. She doesn't have to feel that way, but she feels that she was treated something special because she was looking after her kids. But that is not something we want her to feel. I think everyone needs to work freely, and that was the plan.
So not only presentations, I was able to ask some questions from the presenters, and I think your presentations shed a light on the current situation of Japan.
Starting your presentation, I'd like to ask what's the insights or what's the learning you got from the presentation from other colleagues, especially from the example of Japanese company?
Okay, thank you for the question. I think now Japan has have focus on the female in the leadership, and from today's presentation and even from the forum I has attended, the program for the JCCP, I can see that there is many initiative from Japanese company to enable the woman to work on with the man, and there is a lot of policies has been support the woman, and we can see also the growth of the woman on work related. Most of them already similar to the UAE. And maybe we started earlier than Japan. So most of those policy already implemented in our country, and it's really support the woman. And we can see also in UAE that the woman has been increased on the work environment.
I learned there the similarity. So I also like to learn from you. Can you please start your presentation?
Sure. Just a quick introduction. I'm Bedura Shahi, Vice President Reserve Management. I'm working on ADNOC headquarters in upstream organization. I would like to, on behalf of ADNOC, to talk about women in ADNOC. So ADNOC have successfully implemented policies and create an environmental that attract more female talent and provide opportunity for their professional growth. So I would like to share with you today some of the initiatives that ADNOC has established on the last 10 years. One of them that in 2019, ADNOC implement a gender balance strategy with the objective of attracting and retaining high potential female talent. This strategy aims to develop this individual into successful leader and to promote their leadership capability both within and outside ADNOC. Another initiative, ADNOC has set a target to achieve 25% female representation in technical position by 2030. And today, we, alhamdulillah, achieved 21% female representation in senior leader position. One more initiative, ADNOC has invested in infrastructure and facilities at operational site to create an inclusive working environment for women. So today we can see women working on a site, and also we include launching a technical development program for female at site. And by the way, we have an oil field that are fully operated by female. It's an onshore field, and we have one of our colleagues here, she's working on that field. Also, ADNOC has signed the United Nations Women Empowerment Principle in 2022, reflecting the commitment to gender diversity and the empowerment of women in the workplace and the leadership role. Last and not least, ADNOC has, in 2020, ADNOC become a foundation partner of the ORA 50 Pathway 20 initiative, aiming to increase female representation of the corporate governance board. This objective is pursued through collaboration with the leading partner and participation in the mentorship program. So this is the end of my presentation, and I just shadow on some of the initiatives that ADNOC has established to empower the women in ADNOC. Thank you.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of initiatives you did to attract women in technology. If I can ask one more question to you, can you share any percentage or the numbers in terms of recruitment to attract the female talent?
Okay, I don't have exact number. But today we have 26% female in the leadership position in global ADNOC group, and 20% in upstream. So in upstream, there is like a special technical program for ladies on different aspects, which attract the female to be participating and become a leader.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So next, Ms. Maha-san, I'd like to have your presentation as well.
Yes. I am Maha Al-Breki from Sultanate of Oman. I am senior chemist in OQ company. Not come. OQ is an energy investment company operating in sectors such as oil refining and marketing, energy transportation, petrochemical production, and power generation. OQ offers initiatives for women to develop management leaders and enhance senior leadership. First, OQ focusing in recruiting women in the technical department by increasing the number of female employees in the technical jobs. Second, OQ focusing in developing lady in leadership position by offering courses for women in leadership and increasing the number of ladies participation in Masar. Masar is a program for developing employees. Also, we have women in high leadership position like Chief Financial Officer, Managing Director, and Vice President. Third, OQ launching a private committee for women called Laha, and it's an Arabic word means for her. It takes care about all women professionals. It has 3 streams: culture, growth, and well-being. The culture stream contains flexibility, working hour, maternity leave, last month pregnancy works online, and women celebrations. The growth stream contains promotions, and the well-being stream contains gym, sport, female private room, and mental health. Here are some examples for OQ initiatives for women. We celebrate the Unified Energy Omani Women's Day. And here, female private room. We celebrate the International Day of Women and Girls in Science. And there are, and here is the head office game. Here some example for sport for women like marathon and walk competitions. And here an example of a female employee awarded the Women in Industry and Asset Management. And we celebrate Omani Women's Day on October 17th of every year. There is a available champion for women and a women's weekly fitness schedule. This is another example of a young woman leadership program. And there is a lady iftar gathering in Ramadan to enhance the spirit of solidarity and strengthen the bonds between the ladies in OQ. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All the actions you showed us looks very, cheerful, colorful, and exciting.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you see any changes in your company by doing these kind of initiatives?
Yes. Over the past 10 years, OQ has made change to improve women's career by creating safer and supportive environment for women and increasing the numbers of women in leadership positions.
Okay, thank you very much.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. There are a lot of common points and different points between the two countries and many common points as well. So next presentation is by Dr. Nomura.
So you have heard the presentation by companies, but what are happening within the universities now, please? Okay, thank you. Now, so far, industry, I think especially oil and gas industry has very few female employees. And also same applies to universities like ourselves, which is a science-based university. So I would like to show you how few women students are. This is from 1985, PhD and undergraduates and master student graduate, and the proportion of female students is shown. Maybe back in 2022, 13% or less is the female students' proportion. The master course is increasing in number of female, especially international students, women international students are coming, and therefore proportion is increasing. But we are not able to see surge in female students' proportion. That is our issue. And this is our case, our university. But not only to our Tokyo Institute of Technology, the issue is also shared among Japanese national universities. Well, at the national universities, maybe after year 2000, we see flourish growth ratio of women in university. So this is the current situation in Japan. So various universities are taking various measures. For example, well, actually, before that, let me give you a comparison of ratio of female students in technical universities such as MIT, Georgia Tech, or ATH Zurich or European colleges, if you compare, especially undergraduates, Tokyo Tech is only 13%. And on average, Japanese university had only 22% of female students. This is way low compared with the US and the European universities. They took, however, affirmative actions, and they have taken top-down activities in order to increase a female ratio in Europe as well as US. But it doesn't mean we didn't do anything at all. The Open Campus Day, we invite high school female students to talk to female university students. When it comes to a technical institute or technical universities, high school students have a specific image, but when they speak to our students, they now understand the female students at our universities are similar to other universities' female students. But now we notice that rather than high school students themselves, their parents are obstacle because their parents do not want their daughters to go to technical universities. So we have to persuade them. If you look at the left-hand side bottom, the man in T-shirt standing is the dean of our university, and the women are mothers of students, of high school students. And he was trying to say that the university is getting better for female students, and that is not the same as when you were university students. And those informations are provided by dean. Then the parents of the high school students changed their mindset about technical universities, and that is quite important. And if you graduate from a science major, can we get the job is an issue. So we sometimes invite graduates to come and speak. And also we have some lecture sessions to teach our students as to where they can find their interest. Well, School of Engineering or School of Computing, those are the departments within our university where they have very few ratio of female students. So they also do their independent activities about trying to attract more female high school students to apply for. This has been continuing, but we are not able to see a breakthrough in percentage of female students. But we actually did some affirmative action in order to increase female students. And also, we did some hiring for women professors for positions within our university. And those are the activities we're trying to increase women's ratio within the university, both faculty as well as students. Thank you very much. In your activities, I thought parents are important to communicate. I think this is a very powerful tool. If you directly talk to parents of the high school girl students, did you notice something that you need to change in order to attract more high school girls to come to the university? Or maybe did you notice something that you should work with other entities like national government to increase female students at the university? Do you have any insight? I think we have done all sorts of things we can think of, but now we noticed it's a parent that is an issue. So we are trying to focus on parents for our activities. And also events. We would like high school students to come to them with parents. We are trying to promote them to come with their parents. Thank you very much.
ございますか?
Endo-san, do you have any comment? Thank you. I think I learned a lot from presentation, and also I felt we need to reflect upon ourselves as well as I was listening to presentations. At the METI, we have a department promoting diversity, And also we have a cabinet office within the government of Japan that are leading this diversity efforts. Those government initiatives will certainly need to be promoted. So just like the people have said, the government will make efforts, and also at the household level, at the family level, at the community level, activities and efforts need to be made as well. So both top-down and bottom-up approaches will be needed. I have 2 children, a boy and a girl. And as I was raising children, the cultural and also environmental sort of factors are, I realize, are different for boys and girls. I try not to say this because you're a boy, you have to do this or that. I try not to say this, but there is a atmosphere within the society that the boys have to study hard and get into a good university and a good job, and the women, the girls, it's okay if they can do a very good performance at school. Rather, it's nice that they're pretty. So that kind of unconscious bias need to be avoided. Thank you very much. There is a female version of the government outlined policy outline. So hopefully such a policy would change the issues around the parents. Now, the either Ms. Bodo or Ms. Maha, amongst the parents, are there any unconscious bias in the Middle East? Are there any unconscious bias amongst the parents in the Middle East?
Maybe before 20 years, yes, but now you can see a lot of the female in the technical path and more than the male also.
Do you think there are any good initiative or examples that your country conducted to change the perception of on the part of parents?
I cannot think about any example, but we have something similar, but not for the parents, for the students, where we engage the student in the universities and the industrial, and they can see what's the future and what's needed. So usually the industrial, they go to the universities and to the school to encourage the student to go to the technical path.
Okay, thank you so much.
So finally, we would like to ask each panelist to make a closing remarks. So the reflecting on the past 10 years, embracing the next 10 years based on that theme, could you please give us some message as closing remarks? I mean, you can talk about what you've learned from other presentations, or if you have any question, maybe you can mention that your question in the closing remarks as well, starting from Endo-san and finish with Dr. Nomura. Thank you very much for this wonderful opportunity today. So about the past 10 years, well, the Women's Empowerment Act set some targets to pursue, and also the male parents' child care leave became mandatory. So there's been a steady progress. However, the gender gap index still shows Japan ranking at the very bottom. So it is rather frustrating, but we have to make a steady progress, and there are a lot of cultural issues involved, as we heard. So we have to penetrate our efforts at the cultural level so that we can make a steady progress forward. So at the public and at the private sector, as well as at the household, we need to join hands in making efforts to move forward. Thank you very much. So making steady efforts is very important. So women empowerment activities in our company is still in the early stage, so we can not afford to stop. So the STEM students, amongst the female students, may there may not be many those female students in the STEM areas, but we have to make our workplace very attractive and show that to those students. So to that end, we have to continue to make efforts. Thank you.
Okay, so my message to the future leader, to the next generation, the world needs your voice and the strength now more than ever. The leader is not just a title, it is an impact. So you are the leader for tomorrow and change maker for today. Your journey may not always be easy, but it's always be worth it.
Thank you so much. So powerful.
My advice to the new leaders, they must maintain a clear long-term vision, and they must continuously learn and update their understanding to drive sustainable growth. And my message to the next generation is hold on to your value, but stay open to the change. Thank you
very much.
Thank you very much. FCW activities or value of FCW is something I really revisiting. Japanese companies tend to talk about a women leader within Japanese company context. But throughout the FCW activities of past 10 years, I was able to see the great leap made by Middle Eastern countries. So utilizing this as a lesson for Japanese companies to utilize is a very good opportunity. So instead of just talking about what is happening within Japan, we need to broaden our view. So let's work together.
First, we have to increase the absolute number, but also receiving, and also we have to be ready, because if we see a sudden increase, then we can't really accommodate such increase. And especially, there's a rigid thinking amongst the male faculty members. So male faculty members need to be flexible as well. So we have to develop a good environment. Someone said that we have to have a good soil. So just like that, we have to improve the environment. So our university should change the culture so that it would be perceived as a university that the women can study. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentation, insightful presentation that inspired me. Thank you all very much. Hopefully that this panel discussion will give you some takeaway. I think everyone needs to work together. It takes everyone to change the world. So for the next 10 years, to embrace next 10 years, we have to start acting. And I always get inspired by this forum's activities, and I sincerely hope you will your further success and prosperity. Which there will be a further success and prosperity. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ms. Shimada, and the distinguished panelists. Thank you very much. Very interesting presentations. Diversity and talent development. Sincere efforts are being made. Also, there are a lot of challenges that need to be overcome. Insightful talk was shared to show the future direction and path. So once again, a round of applause, please, to the great panelists.